Good to see you from wherever you're watching us. This is Thursday edition of Sports Tonight. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, the countdown continues today. Talking about the 2018 FIFA World Cup. We'll be talking about what's happening across the globe. Talking about how the teams are preparing for the Mundial. Iran, of course, the first team to land in Russia. Of course, the Spaniards are on their way to their base in Russia, also preparing for the World Cup. For them, the quest is to reclaim the trophy they won in 2010. That's in South Africa. We'll see how far they can go with that one. Today, the FIFA rankings came out. A lot of us are not too worried about the FIFA rankings anymore, but of course, the Super Eagles slipped one spot and they moved down just one spot. So we'll be talking about that on the show tonight. We'll also take a trip to Washington, link up with Voice of America correspondent Sonny Young. We'll be having lively discussion with him, talking about the NBA. He has his thoughts about the Super Eagles, and also we will be talking to him about what's happening in the world of boxing. It promises to be an exciting package tonight. All right, let's bring you to all that we're doing on the show. You're a crucial part of the show. It's a dialogue, it's not a monologue, so we want you to be part of what we're doing. Just in case you join us for the first time, this is how you can be a part of what we're doing here. Get across to us on Facebook, Channels for Sports. Do that as well on Twitter, Channels_Sports. Get your thoughts. Speak out and be heard across the globe. We're global, we're international, and of course, whatever you say, we will do justice to it. Is there anything you feel we should be talking about right now? Also, you can mention that as well. A lot of you have not left the matches played, the friendly matches that is played by the Super Eagles. A lot of comments still trailing the performance of the Super Eagles. We'll also talk about all of that on the show for you tonight. All right, you can read up on all our top stories on www.channelstv.com. And of course, you can view all our top stories on youtube.com/channelsweb. Well, you take it a step further and go to channelstv.com. Then, if you have your iPad, your iPhone, and your BlackBerry, once you go to that place, you follow the prompt, you're able to view us live. You can download the Channels TV app for your Android, your iOS, and your Windows from their respective stores. And once you do that, you will be able to view us live. Okay, all right, so I'm getting ahead of myself right here. Let me quickly introduce my partner on the show tonight, starting off the show with me, and hopefully we'll be able to land this ship safely. Tolu Olorunmoteni, it's good to have you join me tonight, Tolu.
Great to be back here again,
Yemi. I understand.
The familiarity of having Austin around, I guess. But it's good to be here again with you, Yemi. It's been a great week for me. Super Eagles, yeah, slightly disappointing, but yeah, it's a friendly, so not a lot of meanings going into that. The NBA Finals is looking like a sweep for the Golden State Warriors already. That has been absolutely amazing how it's turned out so far. And of course, the Roland Garros, which has been great. So overall, it's been a very great week for me, and it's good to be back here on the show.
Let me get your thoughts quickly. We're going to dwell a lot on the Super Eagles, but let me get your thoughts quickly on the last game the Super Eagles played, your assessment, and if there's any positive because you can't overflog this issue.
Yeah.
7 days to the World Cup, yeah. Just 9 days about 9 days to Nigeria's first match against Croatia. Yeah. What can be done? All of that roll into one.
I think my thought is that we have a lot more control with the 3-5-2 formation, but we are yet to bring out the best of our key players. The best time we've had a great result with our formation was the first time we tried it against Argentina. Yep. 6 months ago, or was it 8 months ago now, and we won that game 4-2. But one crucial factor from that point was that we didn't have Mikel in the game, we didn't have Victor Moses in that game, we didn't have Odion Igalo in that game. Somehow, the players who executed that formation at that point did it better, and we've not been able to match the directness, the pace, the way we kept on going for the jugular of the Argentines was key. We've not been able to replicate that against England nor against the Czech Republic side we played against yesterday. So, and even against Serbia, we didn't use the formation though, and against Poland. So, what you would have expected that one would expect that the team should be able to, improve on what we have on ground, but that hasn't worked. So, going forward, I'd like to see. Of course, we no longer. Should I say, unfortunately, we no longer have a test game for us to see best 11 execute this formation, but we hope that when we take on Croatia on June 16, we can be able to get our best legs, talking of Mikel, Moses, Igalo, to function effectively as a unit and bring the best out of that formation. Otherwise, I would rather, clamor for a slight tweak in personnel. Maybe have Victor Moses play the right wing position. He plays for Chelsea.
That he does.
If we are going to stick the 3-5-2, maybe it's just best if Moses is not starting in that formation, because a certain Tyrone Ebuehi handles the right wing perfectly well. Maybe we need to have more legs like Etebo Oganekaro and the trickery of Kelechi Iheanacho in the starting lineup. It worked so well against Argentina, it will just work well again against anybody.
All right, so we'll see. A lot of perspective and thoughts going into the friendlies that Nigeria has played. A lot has been said. A lot of people still making their comments. Hopefully, at some point, we'll be able to link up with our friend from the Voice of America, talking about Sonny Young. When we're ready, we'll do that. But Tolu, as we go on with the show, there's another aspect that has drawn a lot of comments, the goalkeeping situation. Yeah. I guess I'll let you comment on that one, and maybe we'll just let the issue rest. Your personal opinion, a lot of people, some say, I don't agree, some say maybe Francis Zoho probably has been given an unfair advantage. Let's see the others as well. Okay, he's kept 3-4 games now. Yeah. Some say they're yet to be convinced.
Look, yeah, against Poland, I wasn't convinced, but then his confidence grew as soon as he made that save of Robert Lewandowski. And against Serbia, you can't really fault the man. I mean, even the best goalkeepers in the world gets beaten by headers. Against England, yeah, that particular mistake led to Harry Kane's second goal, which ultimately proved to be the winner. But then, he's young. He's 19. A certain Vincent Iyama made his debut for Nigeria at 19. And he never looked back for the next 13 years. And it was so reliable that for 13 years, we didn't think about the goalkeeping department of the Super Eagles, because we knew that there was a certain guy who was assured in goal. And that was what we enjoyed. For Francis Zoho, maybe others say that the other goalkeepers haven't gotten a fair share. But I think they have. Okay. Daniel Akpeyi against South Africa in a key game, he missed it. In another key game, another friendly game without pressure, away from home against Argentina, he considered 2 silly goals that he shouldn't have considered. Ikechukwu Ezenwa, which is the one everyone has been clamoring for. At some point, people even made jokes about him being, scared of crosses. Okay. And this is a young man who, at 19, hasn't been exposed to top-level game, hasn't played a lot of high-profile games, has showed his confidence. The way he organizes his defense may not be good enough yet, but it improves per game. Right. The way he handles crosses aerially, he's been able to, come with a certain level of presence that we have enjoyed so far. So why not let him continue? We don't want to have the argument of who is our first goalkeeper, who isn't our first choice goalkeeper going into the World Cup. If Ghana has accepted that Francis Zoho is his goalkeeper, why not let him get game time before the opening game? Okay, so we can go on and on, talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria and, of course, the matches played. And, of course, there'll always be diverse thoughts and opinion. All right, let's travel to Washington now. Our friend, Sonny Young, is standing by. Hello, Sonny. It's good to have you join us tonight on the show.
Sporty greetings, Yemi. Great to be back on Sports Tonight, and a very warm hello to all your many viewers.
All right, let me get your thoughts on the Super Eagles of Nigeria. You probably saw the friendly. So let me just have it, your thoughts on the performance and maybe what the fans should expect from the Super Eagles in Russia.
Well, I did hear some comments from John Obi Mikel before the friendly against England, which they lost 2-1, in which he says the Super Eagles are going to Russia as underdogs. And he mentioned the youth on the team and how he's hoping they'll perform to the best of their abilities. But I have some doubts about the scoring punch of the Super Eagles, Yemi. Over the past 3 friendlies, I think they scored only 2 goals. So I think that's a big question mark going into Russia. And I know many Nigerian fans have other doubts also. But that first match against Croatia will be crucial, Yemi. If they can somehow pick up 3 points, that'll give them confidence. And then at that point, the sky could be the limit.
All right, let's talk about the big one in your backyard, talking about the NBA. Did you see this coming, that at this point you had in the NBA Finals that you have a team leading 3-0?
Well, the Warriors, the reigning champions, Yemi, I think they were the overwhelming favorites ahead of this series against LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. But just to give LeBron and the Cavs some credit, a couple of the games have been very close, including the one on Wednesday night, which the Cavaliers lost 110 to 102. But Kevin Durant turned in a sensational performance. And from my perspective, Yemi, the Warriors simply have too much talent for the Cavs. They've got Kevin Durant. Maybe if he's not the best player in the league next to LeBron, he's probably the 2nd or 3rd best. Tremendous shooter, 7 feet tall, almost impossible to guard. And he was lights out on Wednesday night. And Steph Curry did not play that well last night, and the Warriors still won. I think the best the Cavs can do at this point is maybe, just maybe, win 1 game at home on Friday night. But it looks like the Warriors are going to win their 3rd title in 4 years. All
right, let me put you on the spot, Sonny. You think the Cavaliers can't drag this to Game 5, Game 6?
I have my doubts, Yemi. I'm going to have to say possibly they can drag it out to a Game 5, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if Golden State sweeps the series 4-0 and wins again on Friday night in Cleveland.
All right, before we come to Africa and talk about what is happening, let me ask you this question. Everyone has been talking about it. Do you think LeBron James will stay with Cleveland? A lot of people are already talking about where he might likely go. Do you think he's going to stay? And if he decides to leave, what team would suit him if he wants to still win another title?
Tough question, Yemi. Right now, in terms of percentages, maybe 50-50 that LeBron will go to another team. There is talk that he might sign a 1-year contract with Cleveland for another season. But in terms of the teams being discussed that he might go to, one team that's been mentioned a lot is the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't know. I mean, they already have a lot of young talent on the 76ers. And I don't know that LeBron would be a good fit for that team. Simply because LeBron needs the ball. He controls the ball a lot. And Ben Simmons had a terrific rookie season for Philadelphia, and he is the point guard on that team. He needs the ball also. So I'm not quite sure that he'll go to Philadelphia. Another team being mentioned is the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, as a possible destination for LeBron James. I don't know. I would say right now 50-50 that he goes elsewhere.
All right. Let's do this one quickly. We're about to go on a break, but I want to keep you on. I need a quick response on what's going to happen in South Africa, Pretoria, an NBA game, something that the NBA is doing. Quickly talk to us about that.
Well, I mentioned the 76ers, Yemi, and another young star on that team, Joel Embiid from Cameroon. He'll be one of the featured players in the NBA Africa game 2018, scheduled for August 4th in Pretoria, South Africa, at Sun Arena. It'll basically be Team Africa versus Team World. And just to give you 3 players on Team Africa, I mentioned Joel Embiid, also Al Farouk Aminu from the Portland Trailblazers. His parents are from Nigeria, and Bismack Biyombo
Okay.
of the Orlando Magic. He's from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
All
They'll
right.
be in Pretoria.
Sonny, let me keep you on. We need to go on a break. When we return, I want to get your thoughts on Gennady Golovkin and the IBF taking his middleweight title. But just hold on. We'll go for that break. When we return, we'll be back to it. Join us again.